Niantic just dropped a really big piece of news for Pokemon GO players. Starting later on in the middle of this month, you're going to be able to get 10 guaranteed lucky trades with friends. This is actually pretty big because lucky trades are of course one of the best ways to get hundos and shundos in Pokemon GO. I'm going to be talking about the implications behind this announcement in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, so Niantic dropped all the details for the Adamant Time event, which is going to be happening later this month. And this event doesn't seem all too exciting, but there was one part of the announcement that I actually thought was really good. So before we dive into that, let's talk about this Adamant Time event. The Adamant Time event is going to start on Monday, December 11th at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go until Friday, December 15th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. The featured Pokemon for this event is going to be a whole bunch of Kanto Pokemon. Specifically, Vulpix, Ponyta, Krabby, and Voltorb are going to be in the wild. Now, the event bonus for this event is going to be 1 bonus, and it's going to be 3 times experience for catching Pokemon. So if you're trying to grind up the levels, then this event is actually going to be really good for you. Now, let's talk about the wild encounters, and yes, this is all going to be basically a throwback event for Kanto Pokemon. In the wild, you're going to see a whole bunch of Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Vulpix, Otis, Ponyta, Krabby, Voltorb, Coughing, Rhyhorn, Goldeen, and if you're lucky, you might encounter Dratini. Now, all of these Pokemon can be shiny, and that is because we already had the Kanto Tour event. So if you're looking for any of these shinies in particular, make sure you keep an eye out for them because this is going to be a great opportunity for you to pick them up. Now, here is the big highlight, a lucky exchange. The number of guaranteed lucky Pokemon a trainer can receive in a trade has been increased from 15 to 25. And starting Monday, December 11th at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, if you trade a Pokemon that has been in a trainer's Pokemon storage since 2018, it is guaranteed to become a lucky Pokemon until the limit is reached. This change is permanent. That is absolutely nuts. So if you've already hit the 15 lucky trade limit, you're going to get 10 additional guaranteed lucky Pokemon if you trade Pokemon from 2018 or before. In case you didn't know, there is actually a mechanic within trading that will allow you to get guaranteed lucky trades. And there is a limit to how many of these you can do. So when you trade a Pokemon with another player, if one of those players is using a Pokemon that's from the year 2018 or earlier, that trade is going to become a lucky trade. Before this event, you could only do this up to 15 times. And if either you or your trade partner has hit this limit, then it's not going to be a guaranteed lucky trade. So if you go out and try this mechanic for yourself and you find that it's not a guaranteed lucky trade, that means either you or your trade partner had already hit the 15 lucky trade limit. Now, something to keep in mind is that lucky friend trades do not count towards this limit, and any lucky trades that you got just through sheer RNG is also not going to count towards this limit. This is specifically for any Pokemon that you traded from the year 2018 or earlier. Like I said, this is extremely important because for any collector, getting guaranteed lucky trades is game breaking. Like, lucky trades are your way of getting hundos and shundos in Pokemon GO. The IV floor for lucky Pokemon is 12 attack, 12 defense, and 12 HP. That's the bare minimum IVs that you can get. So your chances of getting a 100% perfect IV is actually 1 in 64. Those are by far the best odds you can have in Pokemon GO. So if you want yourself a Shundo, this is your way of getting it. Take it from me, as someone who has a bunch of Shundos in my collection, a good number of them came from lucky trades. So make sure you go out and get your guaranteed lucky trades, and also be very selective about what Pokemon you get. And this bonus is not going to be tied directly to this event, so even if you do not get your 5 guaranteed lucky trades done before this event ends, you're still going to have it. This is a permanent addition to Pokemon GO. Now here's something really exciting. Ditto is going to be making its way back into Pokemon GO. And I know there's plenty of players out there who still need Dittos in order to complete a bunch of special research stories, especially the one for Mew. The following Pokemon will be able to transform into Ditto: Otis, Coughing, Rhyhorn, and Goldeen. So if you need yourself a Ditto, make sure you're tapping on every single one of these Pokemon because there's a chance that it could be a Ditto. Also, don't forget that Ditto can potentially be shiny, and it has a perma-boosted shiny rate, which means it's going to be 1 in 70. One major tip that I suggest you follow is that you have yourself a Go++, and you have it turned on pretty much throughout the entire event. One of the ways that you can catch a Ditto is by having a Go+. When you're auto-catching a whole bunch of Pokemon, eventually you will come across one of them being a Ditto. Of course, the other way is just by simply tapping and catching every single Pokemon on the screen, but I would say that the easiest way is to just simply have a Go++ and just auto-catch everything, and just mindlessly collect those Dittos. There's very much a high chance that we will not see Ditto return to the game for a very long time, so this is going to be your prime opportunity for catching this Pokemon. Do not miss out on it. Now, the following Pokemon are going to be appearing in raid battles. In 1-star raids, we're going to have Staryu, Omanite, and Kabuto, and in 3-star raids, we're going to have Chansey, Scyther, and Snorlax. There's also going to be a timed research that's going to be giving you a whole bunch of Stardust, and I do think this is going to be free, so make sure you complete it. It's going to be a great way for you to pick up some additional resources. There's also going to be another timed research that's going to be themed around friendship, so yeah, I just feel like they're just cramming us with a whole bunch of timed research in order to keep up the engagement with Pokemon Go. Now, let's go over all the Pokemon that you could potentially get from field research encounters. These will include Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Vulpix, Abra, Machop, Geodude, Ponyta, Ghastly, Krabby, and Voltorb. If you want a high IV shiny of any of these Pokemon, then make sure you're completing a whole bunch of field research tasks. It's a great way for you to pick up high IV shinies. There's also going to be Pokestop showcases featuring Krabby, Vulpix, Ponyta, Voltorb, or Ditto. So if you get an XXL version of any of these Pokemon, make sure you save them so that you can maximize your Pokestop showcase rewards. There's also going to be web store bundles and event bundles for you to get. I don't necessarily think these are really good value, but if you want to check them out, make sure you go and check out the Pokemon Go web store and also go to the Pokeshop in-game. So yeah, I think this is all really exciting stuff. I was looking for some really good news when it comes to Pokemon Go, and Niantic delivered, because I really do think that getting 5 additional guaranteed lucky trades is going to make your collection so much better. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Now, I would love to know your thoughts regarding all of this down below in the comments. Are you excited for your 5 additional guaranteed lucky trades? Did you even know that you could get guaranteed lucky trades? And are you excited about this event for any reason? Let me know what it is down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be informative, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support my channel in any way, big or small, then make sure you go and check out the links in the description below. For all my patrons, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in some way within Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. Also, if you want to support my channel in a big way without spending any money, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on these following platforms. Alright, and that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.